Okay, hey YouTubers, this is Gucci Mama 8, and I'm going to be showing you guys my Ar-15 paint job I did with the spray paint. So right now I'm just taking everything apart, getting it ready. I'm going to tape up the gas tube and other key things I don't want to get painted, but at the same time, it wouldn't hurt if they all got painted, but I just didn't want some parts getting painted. So make sure you don't lose any of them screws or anything, because that'd be a pain in the butt to do. Also, while you take your gun apart, you're going to want to clean it with a cloth or something. I had a sock I used just to get any of the powdery or your gun lube or whatever remains that can sit on it. So like dirt and all sorts of other stuff. Just make sure you clean it off. Wasn't hard, just wipe it down. Alright, so this spray paint I'm using is good up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Picked it up at a local O'Reilly's. It's for vehicle parts or whatnot. I'm gonna do my quad in it later on in the video, I'm thinking about. But between these video clips, I do 2 or 3 layers on each part I'm showing you. So just take your time. Everything that I did took about an hour and a half to do it all. Might not look that fast, but there's a good wait time between stuff. You don't want your paint to drip or run or anything, so just take your time and enjoy painting it. Alright, so while you're painting this, you want to make sure that you get in between all of the rail parts. Just take your time and do multiple layers as well, because don't want it to run, so you might want to do one layer, wait a while, and then cover the rest of it. You don't have to cover the whole thing in one layer. Just take your time and make sure nothing runs or drips, so you want to hold it a good steady distance away from it. Alright, so right here I took a mesh. I went to a Walmart and picked up a little, it's like a dirty clothes hamper or something. And I cut out a piece of it, but you put this little piece of cloth on and it makes it so it has that little like digital kind of camo-ness to it. I was just using it because it looks sweet, but you want to put it on it. Make sure that the thing you're painting is dry before you put it on it, just so you don't run or mess it all up. And you just put it on it and then you just do a couple taps. You don't hold it on it or anything, you just, a couple taps will go a while, or a long ways at least. Alright, so about right here, I'm taking a red and a white and putting it on blue. You want your white to go on top of your red and your red to go on top of the white. You don't want to have all white over all the red. You kind of want it to be a little mixed up. And so while you're painting this, you don't want it to be so matching. Like, you don't want to spray the exact same type of pattern on each little part. You kind of just want to do a little mix up. Do a little here, do a little there, and so forth. Alright, so I'm taking this see-through coat, covering the gun, adds a little more protection, and so forth. Now I'm just covering everything, making sure everything's gonna stay nice and shiny. Does add a glossy look to it. I wanted to paint it a shiny color, but the paints I were finding, you had to spray them on chrome to make it shiny. So make sure you notice what type of paint you're gonna buy when you buy it. Alright, so right here I'm gonna paint my muzzle brake, and I'm just doing a couple layers of white on it. Wasn't a very good white, it's more of a powder. It was a very weird texture, but I need to get a new one, so it doesn't really matter. It's all for looks. It will all probably break off as I'm shooting off rounds and whatnot, but it does add character to the gun, just the muzzle brake itself. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing a little paint touch up. Once you put the gun fully back together, I went ahead and kind of blended the gun so it was more matched up, because it wasn't really broke up well. So I matched it up a little more, like mixing it. So I recommend doing that once you're all done with painting the
So
main
what's up,
parts.
guys? So
Put
this
the
is
gun
the
back
final
together.
product. Had to do a little more touch up. That's what it all looks like. It's been drying overnight. Put some bullets through it now and see how she shoots. Notice one thing, that buttstock sliding along that buffer tube, it just chips it off, but I leave it at that full length anyway, so I might just touch up that later. That's really good on my head. I also gotta match up my stuff, but that's how she goes.